Why do most men nowadays have trouble with women? The answer is actually really simple. And this is something that has been affecting most young men. Two-thirds of young men are single. A lot of men, I think half, almost more than half, haven't had sex in over a year, which is really bad. And a lot of these guys, including if you're watching this, if you've had trouble, are just normal guys. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just a regular guy and you're having trouble, and maybe you tried Tinder, maybe you tried these other dating apps, Hinge, Plenty of Fish, and you'll realize that you're just going to get slaughtered. Absolutely slaughtered. Barely any matches. The matches that you do get, they're not going to reply to you. If you even get the girl's Snapchat, she's probably going to ghost you. Have you guys been going through something like this? Well, if that sounds familiar, it's actually very common. Nowadays, we live in a very materialistic, looks based society. And if you're just an average man, that's not cutting the bill right now. You got to be above average now. If you want to have that same, like in the past where it was easy, where you just had girlfriends, where you just had girls talking to you and it just felt normal, you have to be above average now. You have to have some sort of advantage, whether that's money, looks, status, location, geography. It depends where you live too, because you could be an average or even ugly guy and go to another country where there's girls that actually like you. They call this geomaxing. You could improve your looks maxing. You can improve your financial. You could be an average guy with above average finances and pull women. I'm sad to say it, but it's true. Now, you can't call all these women gold diggers, but that's just something that they look for. It's in their nature. Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? If you have a combination of these things, you're going to be even higher up on the totem pole. Everything matters now. Everything matters. You can't just be, oh, why can't a woman love me for who I am? I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. Only your mother or your siblings are going to love you for who you are, or your grandma. Nowadays, girls are ruthless. They don't give a shit. If you're overweight, if you're this, if you're that, if you're not like a really handsome guy, chiseled face, if you have acne, there's so many things that could disqualify you. A girl could not like you for how tall you are, for if you're not muscular. If you're muscular, if you have like a little bit of weight on you, you could be disqualified. You could be disqualified for the clothes that you wear, for your eye color, crazy shit. You can be disqualified for your shoes, for the car you drive. You could drive like a Toyota Corolla, an old Toyota Corolla, and a girl won't go out with you because you're driving a dusty ass car. Even though that car is a great car, I used to have one. It's a great vehicle. We don't understand why that would be a problem, but it just is. Every girl is different and they're going to be looking for different things. But more likely than not, there's things that match up. A lot of girls look for a guy with stable income. Now, that's not every case. I know, we've all heard the Chads, Pookie, and Ray Rays, these guys that are broke. Yes, even broke guys can get tail. But what these guys have is a mouthpiece, and, they're just a 10 out of 10 in bed. And they're handsome. So even looking at a broke guy like, oh, how does he have a girlfriend? How does this thug have a girlfriend? Well, this guy has a girlfriend. You have to look at what he has. Okay, he's good looking. Check. Check the box. Oh, he knows how to talk. He knows how to talk to girls. He knows how to make them laugh. Check the box. And then guess what? Oh, he's good in bed. Boom. Check the box. He doesn't have to have money. You may have to have money. If you're an ugly dude and broke, good luck. And overweight, good luck. Now, I'm not saying every single person, blah, blah, blah. There's exceptions. Yeah, there's going to be a broke, fat guy, ugly guy with a hot girlfriend. It exists. But in most cases, that's not reality. We're looking at reality here. Let's not talk about the outlier. Exceptions are exceptions for a reason. It's an outlier. So, what do you have to do to make the cut now? I'm going to tell you all from my personal experience. I'm going to do some self glazing. Let's do some self glazing. I'm just going to jump into it. A few years ago, I went through like a 2 year long, basically dry spell, and I was chasing women like crazy. And it felt like, I was like, why don't they like me? Why don't they like me? I thought I was doing everything right. I didn't understand. I just thought it was unfair. The dating market is cooked, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I would go on Tinder, barely get any matches. You know the drill. Everything I talked about at the beginning. So I'm wondering why am I having trouble with these girls? Why am I having trouble with these girls? Well, after getting on self-improvement and finally looking back, number one, I was out of shape. So that wasn't working for me. Number two, I was playing video games all day. So I had like no purpose. I didn't have a business. I didn't have interesting hobbies. I wasn't learning. I wasn't being involved in, social activities. I was just sitting inside on my computer smoking weed. That was my fun time for the day, was listening to music in my in my room, smoking weed, playing video games like Empire Total War or Hearts of Iron 4. So I was wondering, okay, why don't these girls like me, bro? My style was out of whack. My finances were out of whack. I really didn't have no money. My vehicle was out of whack. I was driving around some shitty, dusty cars. So I thought that just because, my personality or whatever, and even then, my personality probably wasn't even as good as I thought it was. Our personality always can improve. So after getting on self-improvement, that's when the girls started showing up. When I started working out, when I quit the video games, when I got on looks maxing, when I quit eating the junk food, when I started making the more money, started doing interesting things, having interesting hobbies. You got to flesh all this stuff out in order to reap the benefits. You have to put in the work. If you're not putting in any work and you're just coasting and you don't get shit, don't complain. If you're fat, if you're this, if you're that, if you're in a poor financial spot, get off your ass and start working. You probably won't see results in a week, 2 weeks, 2 months. It's going to be months, 6 months to a year in your self-improvement journey before you actually start seeing the results. Also, get on semen retention. When I was having trouble with girls, I was literally fapping. I was fapping every day. I was watching porn. And I'm pretty sure that affected my interactions with women because it makes you act weird around them. It makes you want, every girl, you want the interaction to go towards sex. And that's in your mind. You're thinking about having sex. And then when you're lonely, you're even more desperate for that connection. So your interactions aren't natural with the girls, and it doesn't naturally lead to an actual connection that could lead to sex, that could lead to a relationship. Versus when you have your own hobbies, when you're interesting, when you have things to talk about, when you have an interesting life, you're attractive, you're handsome, and she finds these things out, these girls will come to you. I shit you not. They will materialize. They'll message you, they'll want to hang out, they'll talk to you. You go to a party, they just start asking you about your life. It just naturally happens, and you have to trust me on this. And as far as the dating apps, don't even fuck with the dating apps. You can if you want. Just keep it in the background. But in most cases, meeting a girl in real life is a lot better. Going out to social events, joining a club, meeting girls through shared activities, meeting girls through a job. You can do this. You can meet a girl through a job if you do it right. You can fuck that up too. Be ready to leave that job if shit fucking hits the fan, but that's a sacrifice you gotta make. That's another way you can meet a girl in person. So Why are so many men lonely now? And girls don't want to fucking put up with the average guy any longer. They have access to men that are of a higher caliber. So if you're not getting girls, really the problem is laziness. You can get them. I guarantee you can get them. I used to think that I couldn't do it. I used to think that life was just unfair, that, the women were delusional and whatnot. Until I actually changed myself, oh, guess what? All of a sudden, all my problems got fixed. All my problems with girls just suddenly vanished. Why is that? I'm going to take a break and drink this coffee. And the work is worth it. Now I'm going to get into the second part of the video. When you actually get on this self-improvement, guess what? You will start having girls show up in your life. And you're going to have to make a choice. Honestly, I would just go ahead and get it out of the way. You may get a girlfriend as a byproduct of self-improvement. Because that's what happened to me already. I've had a couple girlfriends since I got on self-improvement after years of not having a girlfriend. When my life was in the gutter, I didn't have a girlfriend for a long time, like 5 fucking years. The second I got on self-improvement, I've had 2 girlfriends. I've had several, other things, casual things that happened. So it does happen. Yeah, like they show up and you will meet them. So once you have girls coming into your life, these women can actually fuck up your self-improvement journey. You're going to find that some of these girls are lazy. All they want to do is sit around and smoke weed with you or just chill, watch movies. And when you're in that point of self-improvement, a woman could be your downfall. A woman, you could get comfortable with a girl and start falling off. And that literally happened to me. I got a girlfriend and I started eating like shit again. She was cooking me pizza, brownies, burgers, cakes. Instead of working on my business, instead of working on myself, learning, I was at her house watching movies with her, watching Netflix. And it was literally causing my growth to vanish. So you have to be selfish with your time. You have to weigh your options. A girlfriend is also going to cause financial strain on you. For so long, when I was lonely, I thought that was what I was missing, that I was missing the girls, that I had this void in my soul. I felt lonely, right? I thought if I just had a girl, I would be happy. And you'll come to find this out too. Oh, if I just had a girl, I'd be happy. A girl is what you want when you have nothing. When you have no real hobbies, when you have nothing, no true goal in life. Your goal is like to find your true love, to find that person to experience things with, to love someone, right? To connect with someone. But once you get on self-improvement and you find yourself, and I mean this in like I'm not trying to be a hippie or nothing, but when you find, like, when you truly love yourself and you find that self-fulfillment is the ultimate goal, you'll find that women don't actually fill that void. Because when I finally got a woman, getting women, and I thought that would fill the void, it didn't. It didn't at all. The void was still there. And it was actually opening up from having a girl. Because I felt like I was not growing as a human being. And ultimately that void, it's different for everyone. But for most people, it's a lack of true purpose in life. And it's a lack of self-love. And a woman cannot give you that. A woman cannot give you self-love, and she cannot give you a purpose. Now, she can give you a purpose in the sense of like legacy, wanting to have kids. But right now, guys, you need to be focused on your grind because it's hard times right now. It's rough. Having a girlfriend is a disadvantage. Because financially, you're going to be spending more money. I don't give a shit what you say. Having a girlfriend is going to make you fucking spend a fuck ton more money. More money on food, gifts, presents, trips, going to restaurants, going to the fucking movies, doing this, doing that, helping her out when her fucking car fucks up, helping her out with a bill. I don't care what you say, bro. Girls cost money. They do. It doesn't matter who you are. Ain't no girl that don't cost any money. Gas, fucking driving this bitch around, you're gonna be spending more money on gas. Yeah. And most importantly, it's gonna cost you time. Lots of time talking, hanging out, watching shows, watching movies, doing this, doing that, having to give the girl attention when you could be giving your attention to something that's much more important. So, and your energy too. Your sexual energy, you're going to be giving up sexual energy, mental energy, all sorts of fucking shit. You're going to be worrying about her, what the fuck she's doing. There's going to be fights, there's going to be drama, all this other stuff. You're going to have to mess with her family members. You're going to have to go to parties, events, meet her family, be cool with people, meet certain people. There's so much that goes into it. It's like having another fucking job. So be careful what you wish for. When you finally get a girlfriend, you're gonna realize that you're like, damn, bro, like, fuck. What did I get myself into? Like, I was low-key happier when I was single, type shit. I'm actually in a relationship right now. And yeah, it's one of those, like, dude, it has caused me sacrifice. And this is why I'm telling you guys that having a girlfriend is a great thing. There is pros to it. And I guess I'll just go through the pros real quick before I give my final statement. Some of the pros is like, yeah, you have someone to talk to. You have that connection. You're no longer lonely. You have someone to share experiences with. It definitely boosts up your ego. And that's why we get caught up with girls so easily as men, because it boosts up your ego if you have a girlfriend. All of a sudden, you feel like, you're like hot shit because you have a baddie, you know? Whenever you don't have a girlfriend, it kind of fucks with your confidence because you're like, damn, I can't even get a bitch. So, yeah, it boosts up your ego. It just makes you, like, have higher status in other people's eyes. It's kind of like a qualification, I guess, for other women. Other women are going to find you more attractive if you have a girlfriend, etc., etc. Obviously, you have someone to have sex with, you know? So, dude, look, I went through a shitload of cons, and what are the pros? Like, okay, you have a fucking baddie to look at. You have someone to fuck, to cuddle with. You know, someone to talk to. So you get where I'm going with this, man. I mean, there's pros and cons, and you have to really weigh the odds where you're at in life. If you're in a good position, I mean, I don't think there's no reason to have a girlfriend, but if you're on your grind, you're 100% grind. If you're trying to make moves, you're on monk mode, ghost mode, yeah, having a girlfriend is going to affect that. It is. You're not going to be running at 100% capacity. Because when those few years, when I got on my self-improvement, that 2-year monkdom, when I was a monk for 2 years, no girls, no distractions, that was some of the most introspective, some of the fastest growth I ever had in my life. And you will have the same growth. So if you don't have a girl, if you don't have a girlfriend, please take it from me. Focus on yourself. Focus on building that business. Focus on building that empire. Focus on learning that skill. Finishing college. Learning that trade. Traveling the fucking world. Finally fucking finishing those projects that you set out to finish. Because trust me, when you have a girl, it's gonna be way fucking harder to do that shit. Way harder. So you might as well do it now. And guess what? By doing it now, when you get on your grind, you're probably going to get a girlfriend as a side effect of that. You're going to have girls that line up and fucking try to date you. So take it from me, fellas. Now, you're probably going to go ahead and get a girl anyways and fuck her and get involved with her after being in a long dry spell. Go for it. Be my guest. Honestly, just do it. Because that way you'll see. I cannot tell someone who's starving for water, who's thirsty, someone who's hungry. that hasn't eaten that he doesn't need food. Because, oh, after you eat, it's actually, you're still gonna feel the same. I cannot say that to someone because when someone would tell me that shit when I didn't have someone, when I didn't have a girl, I thought, how can this guy say that? He's so lucky. How can you have a girl and just say, oh, it really doesn't matter when I haven't had interaction in so long and you're just fucking starving for attention? So yeah, just go ahead, just do it. Get it out of the way. Get it out of your system. Go fuck some chicks. Go have a fucking situationship. Just do it. And then when you have that situationship, that relationship, when you start messing around with those girls and it starts fucking up your grind, you will remember this video. You will remember exactly what I said here. Relationships are part of life. And it's like one of those things you just have to experience, and it's here. I'm not saying be a monk forever. I'm not saying being celibate forever. I'm just saying the facts that there's a cost for everything that you have to pay. Everything costs something. All right? This is Dark Warrior. Let me know in the comments if you've gone through something similar. Peace.